Hey friends, today we're talking about what smart buyers actually look for when touring a home. A lot of people focus on paint colors and countertops, but the real clues are in the layout and construction, and even the neighborhood. We're breaking down the things experienced agents notice right away so that you can make a smarter decision when you walk into your next showing. Let's get into it. I'm here today with Whitney Ward from Real Broker. Thanks for joining me, Whitney.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Of course. Whitney's been in real estate for 9 years, and she's working on building a personal brand here in real estate. But 9 years, geez, that's a long time to be in real estate. How did you get into the business?
I got into real estate because I've always wanted to, and I started watching House Hunters back in the day. I thought it was super cool that you could just show 3 houses and get paid.
It's just that easy,
I'm
right?
like, just 3? Easy. So I always wanted to do that, and then I worked for a pediatric dentist, and I really learned a lot about business from him. And then I met a realtor. She was a mom that came in for her son's operating. He had to get a root canal or something. And she was a realtor. And I was like, if you can do it, I can do it. So I went home that night. I didn't tell anyone. I signed up for real estate school. And 9 years later, here we are. And I originally started in Colorado Springs.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Wonderful. Well, let's dive into it. Today we're going to be talking about the smart things to look for when touring a home.
Okay.
So first question for you is, when buyers tour a home, what are some of the smartest things that they should be paying attention to outside of the cosmetic stuff?
Definitely the layout. You want to make sure that the layout of the home is going to work for you. It's going to be something that is what your family is desiring. Sometimes moms want an open concept, but I do have those clients that they liked the rooms that are all closed off and separated. So the layout of the home is definitely going to come into play. I think that's the most important thing. Just making sure, is it split floor plan? Do you want the kids right next to your bedroom? Because the layout is something you cannot change. But you can change the paint. You can change the cabinets, the bathrooms, all the things. But the layout is the thing that will stand the test of time.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you what's the difference between, picking a layout versus the paint, but you kind of hit the nail on the head with that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the things that you can change, focus on the things that aren't going to change.
Exactly.
A layout means construction or knocking out walls.
Exactly. Yeah. Or additions, which gets extremely expensive because now you're talking about permits, general contractors, getting all the people to come do the work and make sure that it actually fits your budget. At that point, you might as well just sell your house and go buy a house that has the layout you want, and I could help you with that. But I think the other thing, too, is the way it feels. I always tell my buyers, listen, you're going to know when you walk into the house. You're going to feel it. And it's true. Buyers know, you have that feeling, when you try on that outfit and you're like, this is the outfit, I have to buy it. It's the same with the house. You walk in, you get that feeling. You're like, this is where I'm meant to be. So that's the other part of that.
Yeah.
Layout and feeling.
So speaking of the feeling, what's some way that you can help buyers figure out the difference between a home that's well built versus just nicely decorated? Because sometimes you can't tell whether or not it's well built if everything inside looks pristine and put together.
It's very obvious. When you go into a house that is well built, you can tell that the walls are straight. You can see if there's settling, cracking, if the doorways are straight, if things are lopsided. You can see if the flooring goes down. It's very easy when you're in a house to see if it is well built or if it might have some issues behind that drywall. So it's not hard to tell, to be honest. And then obviously you always have a home inspection. Don't ever not have a home inspection. That is the worst thing you could do. You're just shooting yourself in the foot because you don't know what you're purchasing. Future repair costs, what you need to get done to get insurance. There's a lot of things that go into play, but you could feel it. You could see it. You'll see where there's chunks of baseboards or the baseboard is sliding or it's slanted. So I think, a lot of times too, people get weird about oh, this house was flipped by a flipper. Mm-hmm. But you can tell when it's a good flip and you can tell when a flipper just is throwing paint on a pig. Is that what they call it?
Lipstick on a pig. I think that's the
lipstick on a pig. That's kind of what I feel like you know when it's well built and when it's not. You could see it.
Yeah.
So
Wonderful. Well, let's take a little step outside of the house itself. What about the neighborhood? What things would you look for within a neighborhood to let people know that they're making a good investment?
Yeah, so it depends, there's going to be communities. So you're going to have, if you really want to be like in a cookie cutter neighborhood, you're going to be, in an HOA. So they're going to be telling you what you can and can't do.
No one next door can paint their house purple without
or
getting
pink.
it approved.
Yep, or pink like me. That's what I would do. I would be that crazy person. But I think the neighborhood is going to be, are you buying the most expensive house? If you are looking to have your forever home, then maybe that doesn't matter so much. But if you're looking to maybe live here for 5 years, you don't want to buy a home that's the most expensive, because when you go to sell, you need to be able to do some renovations and then make some money when you sell. So that's a good thing. When you're looking through the neighborhood, like, are you the best house, or are you the middle house, or are you the worst house? Depending on what your scenario is, what you're looking for, long-term, short-term, that's kind of how you're going to base that off of, is every person's going to be in a different situation looking for different things. But also, you need to pay attention to the neighbors. Do they have 16 broken down cars? I personally would not like that. But some people don't care. So it just kind of depends on what you're looking for, what type of lifestyle you like, and what kind of lifestyle you want to live.
Yeah, knowing your buyer too.
Yeah, exactly.
What their needs are as well.
Yeah, exactly.
How would you talk to buyers when it comes to resale value of their home? Let's say it's not going to be somebody's forever home. What are some resale things that you would tell buyers to look out for?
So definitely, again, don't buy the most expensive house in the neighborhood. You want to buy a house that needs some work or needs a lot of work, but the house is clean. The major things are updated. We're talking roof, plumbing, electrical, and HVAC and AC. So if those things are good, but the house needs new carpet, it needs new cabinets, you could paint the cabinets. If you're looking to, renovate over time, as long as the house is clean, it's livable, that is, what is going to help you when you go to resale. If you're buying the house that's the most expensive in the neighborhood, it's probably fully renovated. There's probably nothing to do. And then that way, when you go to sell, you're capped out. You have no extra anything to be like, oh, I'm asking $50,000 more, but I didn't do anything. It's hard for a buyer to be like, well, why would I give you 50 grand more when you didn't do anything? So that's what I would recommend.
Awesome. Well, we'll leave them with this. What's one thing that smart buyers should do when touring a home?
Call me. I'm just kidding.
That's a good one.
Right? Yeah. I just thought of it. I think the one thing that you need to do is definitely find an agent that you feel comfortable with. Find an agent that you feel like is going to bat for you, that they're going to negotiate for you, they're going to protect your interests. The thing about human beings is we know when we feel safe around someone and when we don't. So find someone that you feel safe around, that you feel, has a similar lifestyle to you, that is in your same energy, because if they are, they're going to be the best person to help you. And a lot of buyers don't really know what they want. And so they are expecting the realtor to show them, and to tell them, have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? And I do that a lot with my buyers. I try to make them think a little bit differently so that they can kind of see outside of their world to really make sure that what they're looking for is going to be the best option for them and their family and their future. So I would definitely say it does come down to finding the right person to work with, because buying a home is a journey. It's very rare. And I love it when it happens like this. But it's very rare that you buy the first house you see.
Yeah.
And so you want to make sure that whoever you're with, that you're working with, they're in it for the long haul. So that's something that I really focus on with my clients. I'm like, I'm not just trying to turn and burn you. Like, I'm trying to build relationships. I want the best for your family. I'm here. I want you to call me after the deal. If there's something I can do that I can help you with, I'm here for you. I'm not just going to sell you a house and then you never hear from me again, which I know that is how a lot of agents do it. But personally, I'm building a personal real estate brand. And to withstand the test of time, I have to go next level with that.
I love that. You're not just picking the house, you're picking the person that helps you pick the house.
Yeah. And then with that person, we have teams. I have an assistant, I have transaction coordinators, I have my inspectors, I have lenders, title companies, financial advisors. I have built a team around me so that when people work with me, they're protected in pretty much all sense of the word, and also contractors and electricians and plumbers. So that's the other thing too, is you want to make sure you find someone to work with that can protect you as much as possible.
Awesome. So surround yourself with awesome people like Whitney.
Yes.
So thank you guys so much, and thank you for joining us today.
Yes,
if you
thank
guys want more information from Whitney, she also does live seminars on Wednesdays at 7 o'clock for home buyers and sellers. So we'll drop her information below. If you liked what you heard and you could find some value in this podcast, please share it with a friend, and we'll see you next time.